So Caitlin Clark was seen in Milan for Fashion Week, and yeah, a lot of people have been posting this, and I literally got shared this post, and this was a very, very odd one because I'm like, oh, is this in any way relevant? And the truth is, yeah, it is. It is. This is relevant because it is what is happening with...
That reaction alone tells you everything about the current state of the WNBA offseason. Caitlin Clark pulls up to Milan Fashion Week for Prada, front row, and the league's official accounts are promoting it. Not a game, not a workout, a fashion show. And here's the crazy part, this might genuinely be the most impactful storyline in women's basketball right now.
The unrivaled final. So the last regular season game is Friday. Tomorrow at like a reasonable hour. Hive Lunar Owls missed vinyl, which is irrelevant. And the Rose played a Phantom, which is kind of irrelevant again. So Saturday, and the final is on Monday. Is it? Or is it on the 4th? No, sorry. The semifinals are on Monday. The quarter...
Here's what's really going on. While Clark is overseas in Italy, Unrivaled, the 3-on-3 league that was hyped as the future of women's basketball, is closing out its first season this week. Quarterfinals on Saturday, semifinals Monday, championship on the 4th. And with Caitlin Clark not participating, the viewership has fallen off a cliff. Even with Angel Reese on the roster, the ratings haven't delivered. The final regular season game airs Friday at what he calls a reasonable hour, featuring matchups he openly labels as irrelevant.
Give her a passport. Like Caitlin Clark, if Caitlin Clark decides she just wants to be the most unpatriotic person ever and just goes, screw America, she could literally play for whatever country she wants because of the FIBA naturalization rule, because anyone will give her a passport. That being said, she's going to play for Team USA. She is with Eileen Gu, which is hilarious, which is absolutely hilarious, with the whole Winter Olympics stuff around her. Like, it was...
Now pay close attention, because this is where it really takes a turn. He starts joking that just about any country on the planet would hand Clark a passport tomorrow if she decided to compete for them internationally. Italy, anywhere. Under FIBA naturalization rules, he argues, her global appeal alone would open every door. Then he brings up that she's at this event with Eileen Gu and says the whole thing is absolutely hilarious. For anyone who forgot, Gu is the American-born freestyle skier who represented China at the 2022 Winter Olympics and became the highest-paid female athlete in the world thanks to massive Chinese sponsorship deals. The comparison he's drawing isn't random, it's deliberate.
Why is she cheapening her public image? Taking a picture with, I mean this when I say this, the highest-paid female athlete in the world. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And Caitlin Clark front row at the Prada show for Milan Fashion Week. Obviously, Caitlin Clark has been working with Prada since at least draft night. I don't know if it was before draft night.
His question is sincere. How does taking a photo with the highest-paid female athlete in the world somehow damage Clark's image? That's the criticism circulating online. Some are asking why she's at Fashion Week instead of training, why she's posing with Gu given the political debate surrounding her Olympic choice. But his response is basically, what are we even arguing about? This is Prada. This is a brand partnership Clark has had since at least draft night in April 2024, maybe even before that. This isn't a distraction. This is part of her actual job.
I'm actually surprised that they haven't tried to collab on something kind of... Maybe Prada isn't that type of brand. Maybe that's more so like Louis Vuitton and stuff that would collab with other brands. If it was like a Caitlin Clark logo stuff, but I don't know. I don't know anything about fashion. I'm wearing a Leeds top in a color that is questionable enough that I don't even know. I'm incredibly colorblind, and I couldn't even make a guess at what this color top is. Yeah, I couldn't even make a guess at what it is. So, yeah, it is.
The Prada partnership has clearly been a win-win. He even says he's surprised they haven't launched a collaboration piece, yet maybe something featuring Clark's logo, but quickly points out that Prada isn't really known for that kind of athlete-driven drop. That's more in the Louis Vuitton lane. Then he drifts into a self-deprecating joke about being extremely colorblind and not even knowing what color shirt he's wearing. It's classic humor, but it also says something about his perspective. He's not pretending to be a fashion insider. He's talking about this because, in the current WNBA landscape, it's legitimately one of the biggest stories happening right now.
Her being there is somehow one of the more relevant things in the women's basketball world. As the WNBA shared this post, and I do find it hilarious where I'm like, the league itself will share that, and I'm like, if the WNBA are smart, they would go all in on any player that's refusing to play in any other league. As in, like if Caitlin Clark played in Unrivaled, and Unrivaled had all this crazy viewership, like there is a world where the WNBA, where they say about Unrivaled, like, okay, yeah, we're good. We don't need the WNBA. But that world does not exist because Caitlin Clark's not playing in Unrivaled, so therefore Unrivaled are pulling in horrific viewership. Horrific. Like, it is what it is.
And this is the key point, the reason the WNBA itself is amplifying all of this. He spells it out clearly. If Caitlin Clark had suited up for Unrivaled, and that league had pulled huge ratings because of her presence, there's a scenario where Unrivaled could have claimed they didn't need the WNBA at all. They could have tried to brand themselves as the premier women's basketball league, but that reality never materialized because Clark didn't play. Instead, she's spending her off-season attending Fashion Week, fulfilling endorsement obligations, and staying away from competitive basketball until Team USA camp. Without her, Unrivaled's viewership has struggled badly. Even with Angel Reese, one of the biggest names in the sport, the numbers haven't met expectations. If Unrivaled wants long-term stability, landing Clark next season might be essential. And right now, she's signaling exactly where her focus lies. The WNBA understands that. Every day Clark remains exclusive to their league is a strategic win. So when she appears at Milan Fashion Week representing Prada, the league promotes it because it keeps her front and center while reinforcing one clear message. She's a WNBA player first.
She's on a fucking private jet, and even if she isn't, she's grand. I've literally seen professional athletes, especially, like, look, I'm in Ireland, that aren't in any way Caitlin Clark, get off economy flights and step right out on the court and hoop. I've seen it happen a lot. It is not an uncommon thing. But that being said, again, she's going to be back in plenty of time to get her, she's going to be back in plenty of time to get her bearings, to get ready to play.
Then there's the argument that she should be locked in a gym working on her game. This is where his rebuttal gets interesting. Team USA camp starts in about 10 days. She's traveling likely on a private jet, and even if she weren't, professional athletes handle travel constantly. He's seen players hop off economy flights in Ireland and step straight onto the court. This is one day in Italy. She'll be back with more than enough time to reset and get ready to compete. He also makes a point many people overlook about the Team USA situation. Clark doesn't have to be the best player on that roster to be valuable. If she averages 8 points, pushes the pace, throws a few highlight passes, and helps the younger players shine in exhibition games, that's actually a long-term win for the program. Development and transition matter more right now than stat lines. Because what this Milan Fashion Week appearance really represents is leverage. It's about priorities in women's basketball heading into 2025. The WNBA just wrapped a season where Clark's presence drove historic ratings and attendance for the Indiana Fever. Her rookie year created more mainstream buzz than the league has ever seen. Now it's the offseason and she has options. Unrivaled reportedly offered her equity and a salary above most players. They built their marketing around showcasing top WNBA stars in a condensed, high-level setting. They secured a TNT television deal. They brought in elite names. The concept was simple. Give players a well-paying domestic alternative so they wouldn't have to spend winters overseas. And Clark declined. Instead, she honored endorsement commitments with brands like Prada, Nike, Gatorade, and State Farm. These deals were likely structured before she ever entered the WNBA, built on her college dominance and projected pro impact. Her Nike contract alone is reportedly worth tens of millions over several years. That's a different financial tier. The criticism that she should be in the gym misunderstands what her career has become. She's not only a basketball player, she's a global brand. Managing that brand means showing up for the companies that invested in her. Prada didn't bring her to Milan by accident. They brought her there to generate attention. Exactly what happened. The WNBA understands this dynamic. When the league shares her Fashion Week appearances, it's not trivial. It's strategic. Every magazine cover, every sponsorship activation, every front row seat reinforces that WNBA players can be mainstream celebrities. That raises the ceiling for endorsements and cultural relevance across the entire league. Now contrast that with Unrivaled's closing week. The games have been competitive, but the buzz hasn't matched the ambition. Without Clark, they're missing the one player who consistently pulls in casual viewers and mainstream coverage. That's not a knock on anyone else, it's just the current reality of market impact. Meanwhile, Team USA adds another layer. The roster features established veterans alongside emerging talent. The staff faces a choice: lean fully on experience or begin transitioning toward the next Olympic cycle. These exhibitions are about evaluating chemistry and future building blocks. Clark doesn't need to dominate, she needs to show she fits, that she can contribute within structure, and that she belongs in the long-term picture. And none of that requires skipping Milan Fashion Week. She has time before camp. Elite athletes manage travel constantly. One appearance in Italy won't derail preparation. Zoom out, and you'll see the bigger shift. For years, WNBA stars went overseas for winter paydays. That meant fatigue, injury risk, and less brand building at home. Unrivaled was designed to offer a domestic alternative. But Clark represents a new model entirely, one where endorsement revenue outweighs off-season league opportunities. She can spend winter fulfilling partnerships and still enter WNBA training camp fresh and healthy. The league promoting her Milan appearance signals acceptance of that evolution. It tells sponsors and fans, our players operate on a global stage now. That visibility fuels growth. So the debate isn't really about whether she should be in a gym or at Fashion Week. It's about how power and leverage are shifting in women's basketball. Clark is choosing the path that maximizes her long-term value, and right now, the WNBA benefits from that choice. What's your take? Is focusing on endorsements the smart move? Or should off-season competition come first?